The rain had just stopped when Amani stepped off the taxi. The road glistened under the fading evening light, reflecting a sky that couldn't decide whether to be blue or gray. He adjusted his worn backpack and looked around the busy street, unsure if he had come to the right place. He had. Kampala was loud, alive, and unpredictable, just like the life he had run away from. Amani wasn't here for adventure. He wasn't chasing dreams. He was escaping pain. 3 months earlier, everything had been different.
Back home, in a small village surrounded by hills and silence, Amani had lived with his older brother Daniel. Their parents had died years ago, leaving Daniel to raise him. Daniel wasn't perfect. He could be strict, stubborn, but he loved Amani in the only way he knew how, by trying to protect him from the world. But protection sometimes feels like control. "You must stay here," Daniel would say. "The city will swallow you." Amani didn't believe that. He believed the village was swallowing him instead, slowly, quietly, like a place that forgot people existed. The arguments grew louder. The distance between them grew wider. And then, one night, after words were thrown like stones,
and unpredictable,
Amani left.
just like
No
the
goodbye.
life he had run
No
away
note.
from.
Just silence. Now, standing in Kampala with only a few coins and a restless heart, Amani wondered if he had made a mistake. He didn't have time to think long. "Hey, you look lost." The voice came from behind him. Amani turned to see a girl about his age holding a plastic bag filled with fruits. She had bright eyes and a smile that didn't seem afraid of anything. "I'm fine," he said quickly. She raised an eyebrow. "People who say they're fine usually aren't." Amani almost smiled. "My name is Lila," she continued, stepping closer. "You're new here." Amani. "Okay, Amani," she said. "Do you have somewhere to sleep tonight?" He hesitated. That was enough answer. "Come," she said simply. "I know a place." The place wasn't what Amani expected. It was a small shelter behind a church, simple, crowded, but warm. People came and went, some staying for a night, others longer. Lila introduced him to Mama Grace, an older woman who ran the shelter with quiet strength. "You're safe here," Mama Grace said. "But more importantly, you're not alone." Those words stayed with him. Not alone.
Days turned into weeks. Amani found small jobs, carrying goods, cleaning, anything that earned a little money. Lila became his guide to the city, showing him where to find cheap food,
Kampala
where to
was
avoid
loud,
trouble,
alive,
where to laugh.
and unpredictable,
She had her
just
own
like
story,
the life
though she
he
rarely
had run
shared
away
it.
from.
"I've been here long enough," she would say. "That's all that matters." But Amani knew there was more behind her smile. One evening, as they sat watching the sunset from the rooftop of an unfinished building, Lila finally spoke. "I had a family once," she said softly. Amani stayed quiet. "They fought all the time," she continued. "My parents. It was like love had disappeared from the house." She paused. "One day I left. I thought if I escaped the fighting, I'd find peace." "Did you?" Amani asked. She shook her head. "No, because the problem wasn't just the place. It was the lack of love." Amani looked away. "I think," Lila said, "people forget something important." "What?" "That loving each other isn't optional. It's necessary." Those words hit Amani harder than he expected. That night he couldn't sleep. He thought about Daniel, about the arguments, the anger, the silence. But also about the small things. The way Daniel would wake up early to prepare breakfast. The way he worked long hours so Amani could go to school. The way he said, "Be careful," every time Amani left the house. Maybe that was love. Just not the kind Amani had wanted. The next morning, Amani made a decision. "I'm going back," he told Lila. She looked at him, surprised, but not shocked. "To your brother?" He nodded. "Why?"
Weeks later, Amani returned to Kampala, but this time not to escape. He came back with Daniel. They visited the shelter together. Lila smiled when she saw
Kampala
them.
was loud,
"You came
alive,
back," she
and
said.
unpredictable.
"I told you
just
I
like
would,"
the life
Amani
he had run
replied.
away from.
Daniel looked around. "This place, it helped you?" Amani nodded. "It taught me something." "What?" Amani glanced at Lila, then at Mama Grace. "That no matter how broken things feel, we still need to love each other." That evening, they all sat together as the sun dipped below the horizon. Different stories, different struggles, but one shared truth. Love wasn't just a feeling. It was a choice, a decision to forgive, to understand, to stay, even when it was hard. As the sky turned dark, Lila spoke softly. "Do you know what the world really needs?" Amani smiled. "More people who remember to love each other." She nodded. And for the first time in a long time, everything felt right. The end.
In a world moving too fast, where people forget to look into each other's eyes, one simple truth still remains. We all need love.